So, VCap, I think one of the greatest strengths of somebody is accepting their loss. And you and I, last weekend, made a bet that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would fall to the Seattle Seahawks. I had the Seahawks winning convincingly, and you had the Buccaneers winning on a game-winning drive, marching down the field and just had another one of those fourth quarter comebacks to Tom Brady's tally. And they didn't win by a game-winning drive. They were actually up the entire game, and the Seattle Seahawks fell in what was an abysmal first half. The final score 21-16. I have a lot of takeaways with this game, but I'll start off with you. In the meanwhile, I guess I'll Venmo you $25, or maybe
Yeah,
you're a
you will.
PayPal guy.
Yeah, you will. Um, First off, John, I would like an apology. Um, you were wrong, and I like how you started off by saying a great attribute in a person is admitting their losses, and not one time in that little diatribe you had did you admit that you were wrong or that you lost. I was right. Was I right about the game-winning drive? No, but they won, and they won convincingly. I know it was a 5 point game, but they were in control basically the entire game. The entire game. The defense played phenomenal. Dare I say, the past couple of years, phenomenal. Um, except for the last two drives, obviously, where they let up the two touchdowns and it got closer. But other than that, Devin White was playing great. Levante David was playing great. Jamel Dean did a pretty good job on DK Metcalf the whole night. Winfield was a big bonus back in. Akeem Hicks, he made a couple good plays. He made a couple boneheaded decisions. Actually, honestly, the one to the helmet where he just two hand touched Geno Smith, I tweeted, I was like, a two hand touch is unnecessary roughness now. He did, but that's neither here nor there. Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers looked so much better this morning in Germany. I was cheering my ass off. I was going crazy, and I loved every second of it, except for the Leonard Fournette throw to Tom Brady because that was just them getting way too cute. I loved the
Letting
effort.
go. Don't throw it.
He threw it. He
No.
didn't, and the worst part is he didn't even really look. If you watch the replay, he didn't even look when he threw it. He was just like, "I'm just chucking it up," and it's like if you were just take a second to look, you would have saw Tariq Woolen standing right in front of Tom Brady. But he's not a quarterback, so
This episode is brought to you by our friends at Best Amp. When it comes to sports betting, guys, all of us want to make the most money, want to get the best bang for our buck. And with the Best Amp app, what they'll provide you with is the best odds across the sports betting market. All you have to do is download their completely free app and sign up for any of the variety of sports books out there so that you can give yourself an edge in the game. Be sure to bet like a pro with the Best Amp app. Not only is it free, but it provides so many other perks. Custom betting trackers. If you want to sell any picks, and there's no commission, royalty free. You get the entire cut. Thank you to Best Amp for supporting our show. And as always, let's get back to it.
I love the energy they played with. It was high. The effort was high. And Tom Brady and even Todd Bowles backed up those comments that the effort was lacking when they were playing. The running game finally showed. Rashad White was a godsend to this morning. He was the explosive back to Leonard Fournette's power back style. I compared it to a Zeke Tony Pollard type 1-2 punch. This Tampa Bay Buccaneers not going nowhere, and um, I gotta be honest. I see them. They're going into their bye week now, 5-5, coming off a 2 game winning streak. I think they're gonna beat Cleveland coming off the bye. I think they're gonna beat the Saints coming off after that game. And I think they're gonna go to San Francisco and I think they're gonna beat the 49ers.
So let's dive into this game.
Let's
First
dive in.
off, the Seahawks' biggest attribute is their ability to run the football. And the Buccaneers, right out the gate, took that entirely off the menu. And when you can make that Seattle offense entirely one dimensional, forcing them to, hey, you're going to run the football and you're just going to run into a brick wall, it's not going to lead the third down conversions, number one. Number two, it's not going to get you in field goal, or especially not the red zone. And so for that Seattle offense, I felt like they were way too conservative in terms of going for it on a 4th and 6. They had opportunities in this game to be bold and really take it to a Tampa Bay defense that was playing with their hair on fire. And then defensively, Tom Brady had his way with that Seattle secondary. In the last 4 weeks, last month almost for Seattle, it was a complete 180 from their start to the season where everybody is flying around. They're getting pressure with Uchenna Nwasu. They're getting very good stops in the running game. And really, all of that progress went backwards in this Tampa Bay matchup. But the biggest thing for me, BCAP, was Julio Jones coming back. And Julio didn't have an insane day, but he had some explosiveness, some burst. And as number three receiver in this offense, another weapon that you can't lose sight of. Early in the first quarter, the first score of the game was Tom Brady finding him against a zone coverage look where the guy guarding him, Kobe Bryant, drops back into zone. And on a shallow crossing route, Julio Jones has nothing but absolute grass to run into the end zone for a 31-yard score. That right there set the tone for this game because the issue in Tampa Bay, and I'm going to talk about it ad nauseum, they won this game and they were the better football team today. But Tampa's still got so many issues. They get to go into a bye week, they get a little bit more rest for these older players. But at the end of the day, this is not a consistent football team. We've seen them run the football very well today, but can they sustain that later on in the season? I'm not quite sure. And then with Julio Jones, he adds an element to this offense, but we all know you can't rely on him to stay healthy. Chris Godwin as well today had an awesome game, one of his best games of the season, 71 yards and a score. He looked better too, a little bit more pop, a little bit more reliable on third down. And whether it was crossers and or simple like 3 yard out routes, Tom Brady was just so comfortable in the pocket. And this Seattle rush defense just couldn't get anything going. So this was a terrible day for the Seahawks. But you saw the fight still in the fourth quarter when not Russell Wilson, when Geno Smith was able to make great throws. Marquise Goodwin, he had a huge second touchdown catch. And I feel like for the Seattle offense, they have so many weapons, whether it's Tyler Lockett in the end zone and DK Metcalf was able to get this team some momentum in the second half. I think the Seahawks are going to be just fine. This is a young team, and I said just a week ago, they can go to the NFC Championship game. And I'm not quite out on that statement because they're young. These are the type of growing pains any good football team is going to need to
Sure.
have. And if this was your biggest dud of the season, or your second biggest outside their game against San Francisco week 3, I think you're going to be just fine. And this experience for them, I think, was a good one to build off of.
No, no, they're not going to the NFC Championship game. I mean, if they see Tampa Bay again in the playoffs, uh, again, I'm favoring a Tom Brady led team to win that game. I don't know what else, you know, what else he needs to do to prove to you, that they can get it figured out, get hot, roll into the playoffs on a winning streak, roll into the playoffs firing on all cylinders. And I don't know why you call this team talent deprived. That's not their issue. They have the talent. It's actually a very talented team. It's the issue was the lack of effort and the miscommunications going on, the details. So once those get figured out and you clean those up, you're off to the races. So again, I don't know why you can't see that, but it's okay because we all know, the whole world knows that Pittsburgh Steelers fans, for some odd reason, just don't like Tom Brady. I mean, maybe it has something to do with, we beat up on you guys for better part of 2 decades. But yeah, it's all right, John. I understand. I understand. You're Pittsburgh Steelers. I understand why. It's
I don't
okay.
know why you're throwing a pod shot at me. The Steelers
I'm
won
not.
today, and you had them losing against Andy
No.
Dalton at home, which I thought was ludicrous. And today
No,
they
no.
surely showed with TJ Watt in the mix. No Minka, no Boswell. They're still a very good football team with
No,
the
they're
reigning
not.
defensive player of the year. What are you
No, they're not a
talking
very
about?
good football
The
team.
Steelers looked really good today. It was the first time I've seen them play complimentary football since last year.
Congratulations. You played an Andy Dalton led team with Dennis Allen as the head coach. Great job.
That's very true. But Kenny
Yeah.
Pickett showed signs, made a huge throw down the field to Deontay, set us up to
Okay.
win that game. And
But we're
hey,
not talking about
Najee
that.
Harris today, 99 rushing yards, best game of the season, getting things rolling. What do you think?
I simply brought up the Steelers because of why, to explain to the viewers and everybody why Pittsburgh Steelers fans hate Tom Brady. It is because that he beat up on you guys for the better part of 2 decades. And it's okay. It's okay. You know, John, it's not your fault.